If you want to get your company to the top of Google searches, then trust Hotclickmarketing. I trust them, and they're sponsoring me for the entire season. So tonight, of course, is a Manchester derby. I love Manchester derbies. I'm getting up towards 80 now that I've attended in my lifetime. But not only is it a Manchester derby, it's the semi-final second leg of the League Cup, and that game behind me, the Dennis Stewart overhead kick, was the first cup final I personally attended. Yes, that's how young I am. I wasn't there in 1970 or 69, 1976 or 74 for that matter, but 76 League Cup final, Peter Barnes, Dennis Stewart, Alan Gowling for Newcastle. That was my first taste of a cup final, and I remember wearing all the badges of all the players on my scarf and being in Albert Square when they came home. Colin Bell, of course, didn't play. He'd been injured in one of the earlier rounds, ironically, against Manchester United. A tackle from Martin Buchan. I saw Colin limping into the game today, and still limping on that leg that was injured back then. But it is a Manchester derby, and me as a Mancunian, this means the world to me. What does it mean to the people who are here today? Let's find out.
It means a lot. I'm not going to get myself into trouble and start saying it's better than sex or anything like that, but no, it means a lot. It's massive. I don't think it probably means as much to the lads now because we are absolutely dictating things in Manchester, but back in the day when they were a better team, bigger club, it meant a lot to get a win over them, and we did it a couple of occasions.
So it's the pride of Manchester as well as getting to a final of the League Cup?
I think that's done and dusted. Cheesy, you know, I think everyone knows City are a better team. Obviously the history that Manchester United have got is great, but what Manchester City have done over the last decade has been unbelievable, and everyone looks at Manchester City now as the biggest club in Manchester, simple as.
I'm from Algeria. These two of my friends, they came from Algeria yesterday.
Ahmed. I'm محرز pour أبلا on Guardiola.
I assume you're fans then of Riyad Mahrez.
Yes, we do.
But I'm pronouncing it wrong, aren't I?
What he said, he's here. Just he need to speak to Guardiola about Mahrez. He need him to put him to play every single game for 90 minutes.
He's very popular, isn't he, in Algeria?
Yeah, but lately he's like upset. Look, lately Mahrez he play only 15 minutes.
Because he's he's good player.
I didn't win many, but very special occasion, you know. Whether it was 1-2 weeks ago or 2 months ago or 2 years ago, that used to be when I was playing, it's amazing for the fans, and I thoroughly expect us to win comfortably tonight.
Do you think this is more important then than games against Liverpool these days?
I think it's different, you know. Times have changed, you know. Remember back when we were playing, we were always the underdogs, probably expecting to get beat. United, for me, are no longer our main challengers, you know, like Liverpool are, because they're up there and they've challenged the last couple of years, and United have.
I'd love to be playing today, wouldn't you?
I wouldn't get in this team, but no, I would love to. I probably wouldn't stay in the pitch very long.
The derby is, since I was a kid, Derby Day, I always look forward to it. I'm always very, very, very nervous. In fact, I was happier when I knew we had no chance. I was a lot happier in myself when I knew we were the underdog, and anything we got out of it was a bonus. As the times have changed and we've become obviously a very successful club and a better team, now I don't like it so much, because now we're expected to win it. And I'm from that era of City, and there's a lot of people like me out there, and believe me, you're in my gang, where we could be 15-0 up with 5 minutes to go, and I'd still be going, something might happen, and there's a lot of us. So Derby Day has changed over the years for me. This one's gone important. I'm more nervous than ever for this one. It's a semi-final. I do pine for the old days sometimes, but I think, hello, how are you? But how can we lose?
We're going to win tonight.
I hope so. Yeah, we should win. We should win. They haven't got their best player. They've got, they've not had a particularly brilliant week all round. So we should be alright, shouldn't we? Yeah. So I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
Just always been excited about the atmosphere here, and knowing the rivalry and just hearing about it, coming here and seeing the atmosphere of the game.
How do you think it's going to compare to what you're used to when you play?
I think it's tough. You know, I know that the fans are a lot more passionate out here, or that's what we hear. So I'm excited to see that.
You don't hear the singing quite the same, do you, in the NFL?
No, that's something that I've seen when we've had international games in the States, and so hopefully I can catch along and jump in on a song.
Are you rooting for anybody?
I just want to see a good game, good match.
Well, when I was growing up, I moved to Salford when I was 9, so you can imagine what the derby meant to me. At the time I used to be terrified of going into school on a Monday morning. If we lost, they'd just take the mickey mercilessly, and if we won, they'd beat me up. So I was on the loser all the time. And then when I was about 14 and we started beating United virtually every season, it was quite nice, but I used to always try and make a dental appointment or something Monday mornings. So I kind of, even though I've lived in London for a long time, the derby means a lot because obviously, you know, we tend to spend a lot of time on the train with United fans going to different places because they've got a big London branch, shall we say. But I think I'll be going home happy tomorrow morning.
Obviously, I think the history and the prestige of Manchester Derby is massive, but I think in recent times, obviously now Liverpool are more or less our biggest rivals and biggest contenders. That's basically it really. I think they're the ones who we need to be looking at more than Man United. Now when you go to primary school, 90% of everyone is Man United fans, aren't they? So now the times have changed, but I do think if we can score once tonight, I think that will be it. I think we should go through, and obviously by the law of averages I think we'll win against Villa if we get that.
Oh, it means everything, you know, going there to the final and everything. Obviously, Aston Villa beating Leicester, you don't know what's going to happen. I do think we will get it off them. I can't see us losing, but we'll go to the final. Obviously, United aren't on that good form recently. Man City, obviously with the draw against Crystal Palace and everything, so I think we will win 2-1.
It's a big game. I mean, obviously 3-1 open aggregate, so it'd be nice to get the win and go through to the final, obviously against Vale. So it'd be interesting to see how it goes.
You've seen City win the League Cup quite a bit, really, haven't you?
Yeah. Seen it a lot recently, so it'd be good. It'd be a good game.
It's a big game always, isn't it? A derby game, but we've got to win.
When you say it's everything, is that because you're from the older generation?
Yes,
exactly.
Yeah.
I remember the times when it was us that were always hanging on. Now it's them that are always hanging on.
The derby means to me everything because of the local rivalry. I cannot stand United, mainly the fans, but also some of the people that run the club and did so in the past. And
can you remember your first one?
First one was, I think, about 1972 at Old Trafford when we won 3-1. And Rodney Marsh definitely scored, and I think Franny Lee got another one. And I also remember one of my first was a 3-3 draw at Main Road.
I can't really relate to that because I'm a blue through and through. But
Well, I am myself, and none of my family were ever Reds, so it was easy going for me.
What does it mean though to you to come to a derby like this?
Well, I'm a bit nervous, like most City fans would be, because you can never count your chickens, can you? But hopefully we should turn them over, shouldn't we?
Should be a good atmosphere tonight,
yeah.
well,
Which would be a little bit better than the Fulham game as well, yeah. Without any of the moaning about how much it costs and all that. It's just a bad timing when at 1 o'clock. It doesn't work for us early doors on a Sunday, and yeah.
Well, let's get on with it today.
Yeah,
Beat
well,
United, get to Wembley.
well, that's the thing, isn't it? Make the most of these opportunities that we've never had in the past. You know, year in, year out. Year in, year out used to be purgatory, didn't it? But now it's not anymore. It's brilliant. Absolutely, it's not.
Everything for us. Everything for City. It's like you wake up in the morning and you think you've got your butterflies because you want the team to do well. But half and half it's for City because we're
even though United aren't what they used to be.
Yes, still. I'm 57 and I've waited for days like this, games like this all my life. And all I can say is City till I die. Thank you very much.
You're going to win those smile all the way through the game?
I am.
Are you confident?
Yes, I am. I am, mate. I am. I wasn't at Crystal Palace, but I am now. I really am. I mean that, Ian. Yeah, nice one, mate.
disappointing. A few chances, should have put them away. Same old story, innit? Getting caught on the counter like that, disappointing really. But you know, they still got to come out and have a go at us second half. So we'll see what happens. But
you see this going to penalties?
No, I'd like it done. I think we'll score. But I can see them scoring as well. But that'd be enough, wouldn't it? So hopefully not. I don't think I'll take that. Not today.
What's it like being here so near to the visiting fans?
Well, we're here every week, so we're used to it. But you know, just the smell. The smell's the worst bit.
Made them look good, better than they are. They're not very good, but we just didn't take our chances first half. If we'd taken the chances first half, just one of those goals, they would have folded it. Sorry, and it would have been 3-4 maybe. But we made hard work a bit. But back to Etihad South.
We have a blue moon.
What did you think?
Similar, basically. No different to really. Should have won it in the first game, shouldn't we?
Skin of the teeth, that wasn't it?
Yeah. It's Sterling and rest, mate. You need to rest Pep.
We would have took that before the start of the game. So we have to go to Wembley again.
I'm genuinely struggling to celebrate because we've just lost the derby at our place again. And I don't know, we were just off our game in that second half. How we started so well, and then just went off the ball in the second. Just looked so scared, and even the 10 men. And I'm struggling. Don't get me wrong. Give me half an hour and I'll be celebrating. But it's just hard to celebrate at the moment.
Funny feeling, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a weird one. It's a weird one. I'll be singing once we get outside. So let me in.
Oh, it's a strange feeling, really. I mean, we've just lost 1-0 at home. We lost twice at home in a season, and yet we're happy. We're going to Wembley. That's all that mattered. You know, if you'd offered me 1-0 at the start of the game, I'd have taken it. But still, you know, we had 2 VAR disallowed. Obviously, I've not a clue. Sterling, you know, he had 2 saves when he went round everyone and missed. I think that sums up the past couple of months that he's having. Really, just completely sort of lost all his confidence, but he's plugging away. The team's plugging away. We're just not taking chances, and that is the story of the season, really. But oh well, get to Wembley, beat Villa, hopefully, first trophy of the season. Not so bad.
I thought not as good as the first leg, I must admit. Thought United played quite well. Matic played very well in central midfield. Glad when he got sent off, deservedly so. I'm just glad we're through. 69 years old, so you know I've been through.
At the end, were you?
Yes, just a bit. Been through the thick and the thin, like you have. Cheesy, you know. So yeah, really happy. I'll be there on the 2nd of May.
Other people have said it's mixed feelings. It's a defeat, and City didn't play that well.
Well, I don't think we did play that well, to tell you the truth. Well, there's a few players had an off day, or off night. And thought Kevin could have done a little bit better. Mind you, having said that, we could have been 3-up. The game made 3 fantastic saves. But, you know, I'll take it. 1-0, doesn't matter. We're through, aren't we? So I don't care. Come on, City!
Want the best night, but finally here we come. Wembley, Villa. See what happens.
Gonna stuff them. Villa are awful.
We were good at certain points, but at least we're through. We're back at Wembley. Our dream, our second home.
What do you think?
Well, that's just typical City, innit? Put you through the mill. 1-0, half time, nervous, but we came good. They had nothing in the second half, United. They couldn't cope with it. And when the player got sent off, it was really all over by the shouting.
You've got a month to save up for Wembley.
Oh, I know, yeah. Second home, isn't it? Yeah. But we'll do it. We'll be back. Aston Villa. See you in a month, eat cheesy.
What a strange game that was. A Manchester derby where City lose 1-0 at home to their big rivals. And yet you come out sort of smiling, but more relieved, really. I thought City got home by the skin of the teeth. I thought there were some excellent performances, but not throughout the team. I have to say it was a slightly disappointing team performance. Sergio Aguero is always a goal threat. Ilkay Gundogan in midfield looks good. Bernardo Silva and Kevin De Bruyne. Those are the 4 I'd pick out as being the ones who dragged City over the line. They didn't score in the end, but they only conceded that 1 goal, and I suppose that's the main thing, really. So not one of those where you go away completely skipping, but then there's a Wembley Cup final at the end of it against Aston Villa. Anyway, thanks very much for watching as usual, and thanks for subscribing as well. Click the little bell button, you get the notifications. I'll be back at Tottenham at the weekend with more, and of course don't forget the podcast over on SoundCloud or your favourite podcast host. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you again next time. And as I always say, and particularly today, isn't it great being a Blue? A big thank you to the RRG Group for their sponsorship of the Matchday vlog throughout the season. So if you're looking for a new car or a used car and you want to deal with somebody you can trust, then I can certainly recommend the RRG Group. Thanks very much, guys. Thanks for your support.